His hands told more stories than he could recite in one night. His calloused fingertips and extended wrists spoke his experiences, and even some scars marked on his flesh was like a timeline that showed he made amends with his past, and I wondered if his tribal remedies healed lacerations that will last in some hearts forever. He proved that ingredients like vinegar had a deeper purpose. His smile cast shadows over generations of humors when he told tales of watching red fox after the harvesting. His lingo lingered through generations of style, often hinting that he refused to die out with time. We sipped wine and delighted in conversations about plantations from Salem to Indian River, and how Virginia was all dirt roads and cornfields, and how meals came from the farm or came from what his grandfather hunted. He mounted his hard work values and hard work ethics, and even though he said that his lifestyle was hectic, I had this fixation that his commitments will involve me past this night, and as an old soul, he did the right thing by focusing his nervous energy on entertaining me with more stories, like how Geico was once a woman's only policy, and eventually my curiosity kept his company past dawn as I lay cuddled in his arms. His rapid heartbeat had counted how many years he spent alone within his own secluded relationship. His sensual ways showed that he was 2 decades above my own, and maybe this moment made him forget about the insecurities that kept him out of relationships, and maybe within his strict work habits he could find more time for wine, conversation, foreplay, or even to love me as I laid against his chest, anointing each heartbeat. His stories went deeper than his fingers that played with the deepest part of my fantasies, and despite our age discrepancy, I am old enough to know when a man gets tired of being alone, and I know that he skimmed through chapters of my own realities, and that moment just proved that I had insecurities about loving too easily, but I couldn't resist his hands that told more stories than he could recite in one night. I am poetry, and this is more than just a hobby. Verbally, I lobby for the rights with the same fist that salutes the fight. My right hand write what's right, like freedom's not free speech that man outlined in Capitol Hill when God was the first to give us free will, but still. We believe in the same institutional compositions that took prayer out the school system, that made worship in the workplace a form of insubordination. All I'm saying, I'm one of God's gifts, because words like this is why the world labeled me a mischief like Moses. I have a purpose. The stage is sacred like a pulpit. I take my soapbox like a fetish, become psychotic to transform your ignorance, because my performance is not an act but a testimony of my acts. In fact, it still remains that the revolution will not be televised and the truth will not be on YouTube. And I'm not some radical fool looking for attention. My poetry is what makes me a legend. Yes. Like I mentioned, there's no death when I have the resurrection. My words are verbal blessings. Much more than a movement, this is more like a mission. Scribe divine messages that hit in your conscience allows you to make conscious decisions. So this is a lesson for your salvation. So if you're can't understand my English, you can say it with an accent like I said. I add tags to hashtags. I wasn't asked to be a poet, but God tagged the ashes on my forehead of a prophet, an activist and artist with many talents that come from a spiritual lineage balanced by the Alpha and the Omega, better defined as a destined creation from the Creator. So I will forever be hung on a cross as my lips speak directions for my boss. I carry on the gospel to the lost, to the crippled, for those that's waiting for miracles. Spirit welcomes you, because this entrance is beautiful.
Yes.
Pastor Grace, here we go. Somebody come get me before I kill this man. Somebody come get me, come get this knife out my hand. He don't really love me. Said he got a woman down the street. He don't really love me. Oh Lord of mercy, don't let me do it
expectation and exploration is for carnal consumption, know that my ambition for penetration transcends bone and narrow. I'm a paradoxical paladin purposed to fulfill supernatural expanse, targeting my quiver and quill for spiritual intercourse, metaphysically piercing my objective with 2 in the chest and 1 in the head, with the aim of mutual reciprocity based on his intention for connection. With aspirations beyond fleeting affection, should you choose to accept this mission, understand that it's a decision to be consciously conscripted into an unyielding expedition of cosmic kingdoms, epic battles, and adventure to which the rest dare not tread. Because I am Josefina incarnate on a quest to rebuild and restore. So unless you have the vision of a pharaoh, then sir, I'm afraid that your side is just too narrow. Because if all you can see is a side chick to bow down on you, boy, I stand out tall, bucking while you frontin' like a grown man. So let me help you understand what your eyes don't perceive. I am a tribal warrior descended from queens, meaning my royalty is not designed to be invested into those who don't get it. My loyalty is designated for combat alongside in the fight, and my fist up in rejection to the ignorance of my light. And like 9 stacks, I stay gold, pony boy, with no time for unwholesome intention or fake decoys. I'm allocated for celestial collaboration with no room for pretension. So with that said, anything out of line with my true north and the light to which I've been entrusted is out of sight and not in mind. And thus you'll find my alliance resolute and your desire askew. So you want to get filthy nasty with me? Then you got to get your hands dirty in the grit of real life. Stare deep into the ugly and uncomfortable strife. Because anybody can be there under the bright lights of sunny days, yet will you stay during the cold darkness of my soul, willing to walk beside me while I grow from bruise to whole. I need you to know that before you take another step, I am not a sprint where you can dive in quick and haphazardly. I am an unrelenting ultramarathon that brings grown men to their knees. So you best slow your roll because your drive is headed for disaster as we careen faster into our impending segregation. For you and I are doomed for misalignment where soul meets body. You best believe that I'm built to last long with soul stamina too strong for the fast physical fix that you crave. So let me, for the fast physical fix that you crave. And since you're looking for a pretty plastic model mannequin, man, I can guarantee that you won't find her here. Your consideration is flattering, but my intention is faltering, altering this interaction to dissolve into contention. So let's avoid future animosity and embrace separation responsibly, and agree to this mutual solution to this cognitive dissonance. Because I'm not the one you want, and you're not the one I need. So proceed to leave as you are looking in the wrong direction. For sir, your selection is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Good one.
Hi, we're Parks and Rec.
Let's all talk at the same time.
Hi, we're Parks and Rec. And this is Art So Loud.
So you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and at your mama's house.
At your mama's house for
At
dinner.
Parks and Rec, that's WRECKS.
Thank you.
All right.
I am one out of many thousands of women on this earth who is actually just one of the homies. Chilling in a room full of dudes, I shouldn't feel so lonely, but I do. I know I'm not the girliest of girls, but I still rock my curls.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm still not used to that. I still rock my 45-inch stiletto heels.
Ow,
I'm not used to that. My silhouette is slim, but I still got curves. Just smile. I'm a lover of hip hop and I can fix your computer problems. I'm something like the Geek Squad. I can hold down a conversation of what music production software to use and what basketball team is going to lose in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that being one of the homies could be a dope way to meet my soulmate, but I just fall into the friends category. And this is such a sad story, y'all, but not because of this tomboy addendum that has been embedded in me since I was about 13 and is still in me 20 years after the fact. It's just that I can't get a guy to look my way unless I'm in front of a crowd blazing a stage. Facts, not fiction. I wish this wasn't nonfiction, but this is my love life or lack thereof. Nobody pays me attention, and I'm not trying to ruin the friendships to seek engagements. This has nothing to do with the guys in my life that mean everything to me. This is about how sometimes I don't have the self-esteem or confidence that I'm pretty like these Maybelline lipstick queens who are always on the scene, who always get the guys that I had my eyes on. I'm always the one that gets passed on but is lucky enough to sit in on Guy Talk. Whoop-de-effing-do. If looks didn't matter, then this world wouldn't be so damn cool. But I'm so tired of being the girl that's so damn cool but still not cool enough to be your girl. I'm just one of the homies, giving out daps to those who I hold closely. You boys having. T-shirt and jeans, white beater and sweats wearing, sneakers, doper than your homeboys. Obsessed with Macintosh products and gadget-like toys. Can set up a wireless network fixing things around the house. Hype these urban fashion knowledgeable. Eat you alive in a cyber turn of competition in the molecules. Give you my perspective on how a song sounds before it got mixed down in Pro Tools. One of those dudes. Drinking tall cans of Yuengling, but yet I love a nice glass of Riesling. Cigarette smoking, heavy breathing, cussing like a sailor, one of the guys. Well, I wish one of these guys that I would meet. You see that I am such an effing lady. I will cook and clean for you. Make sure my Naomi Campbell walk is mean for you. Do out of the ordinary things for you, like run a bubble bath for you or file your taxes for you. But until they can see past these eyes that aren't hiding behind anything except a pair of DK and Y frames, I'll continue to be one of those dames who is actually just one of the homies.
I can't believe this Just remember, we'll still be by our side. It was me. It was me. It was me.
Change, but love remains the same. I had given